I appreciate all the numbers that you all have shared. I like numbers too, and just using Essex as an example, I don't think that you are paying yourselves enough. And you had a goal of increasing. Talking about the annual compensation of 10,000 plus room and board, and I wonder what you think about how to move towards the goal of more like 25,000 or whatever you were saying. I mean, do you feel like it's because you're not efficient enough at producing, or it sounds to me like your customers are getting a really good deal?
I guess I feel like money is the biggest disservice to a farm, and the less you have, the more creative you have to be. We pay all of our bills. Our farm is growing each year. We're slowly paying off land. Kristen and I go back and forth about this. I don't feel comfortable paying myself more cash than I'm paying the people that I work with, because they're often working as hard or harder than I am. So I think that's one litmus. A couple years ago we were losing money when we first started because we were investing in capital. 2 years ago we paid people $3,000 a year. Last year it was $8,800. We're slowly moving up. But I think having come from a perspective, it was interesting to hear Spencer earlier. I think we've inverted each other's life stories to some extent. I started out wanting to make a lot of money in produce. I used CSA as my model. I made a lot more money at that point. I've been wanting to make less money as I get older, because I've seen that, as Kristen can kind of, I think, agree with this, is that the goodwill in our community, we had somebody come in and clear, and for those of you that are in excavating know about this, they cleared 40 acres of our best ground because it had been planted in landscape trees, and they stumped it and left it level, and they didn't charge us. That happens so often with our farm, that gifts like that, whether it's someone that comes with their horses from an hour away to plow for us, that I think that there's a whole hidden income side that you would call community or goodwill, that because we're at the focal point of it in our farm, ends up being those quality of life things that we don't have to buy. So right now I think both of us are comfortable with our income. I think Kristen's book income will supplement our income to allow us to do some of the more suburban, and we might get a washing machine. No, we have a washing machine. We might get a dish towel someday,
Absolutely. Do you have anything to add, or the numbers don't look, they don't look like a lot.
My dad's an accountant, so whenever I talk to my dad about this stuff, he says the same type of thing. You guys aren't paying yourself enough. But I mean, we never feel at the farm like we don't have enough money. I think we all do the things that we want to do. I play rugby in Burlington, so I'm taking the ferry all the time. I go out with the guys over there. But I've made a choice to live on a farm and work on a farm because that's what I enjoy. So if I was making a lot more money, I don't even know what I'd do with it. I work, I do other stuff for fun. I've got plenty of money to spend on that. So I think as long as we're looking around at each other and we're all pretty happy and we're not complaining about money, then I think we're set.
That may not be addressed to us, but we'll let the capitalist, greedy capitalist speak, perhaps. That's great. To realize that there are so many different metrics to measure quality of life, and I think it's. I'm excited by the idea of measuring it in so many different ways, and I think we have an informal measuring system for that, being just our conversations. But again, it attests to the different environments, perhaps, in which we work. People have helped us out too, but it's not quite in the same way. It probably goes back to our temperaments. We are in the city that offers us a bunch of advantages. We're 2 miles from our market. We just drive up to our market, and ready to go. We go to our restaurants 2 miles away. It's a lot of advantages. It's more expensive, so money is more necessary for us that we've found. We haven't yet been able to work out a deal with the phone company that they'll take carrots for the phone. So, or with the mortgage bank, or a lot of those guys. We've tossed it around, but it hasn't worked out. So, we quantify a lot of that in dollars. That's why we focus on that. Also, for a similar reason, we're coming out of the city growing up in the city, sort of growing up with our parents telling us to get jobs and get things that make money and make a living. And so this mentality insinuates itself in everything that we do. So what we want to do, and part of our goal, and what is changing now, to look, I agree, I think that it is inverted. We've done the dollars, now we're looking at other arrangements similar to you guys in enhancing the quality of life. But we also want to we kind of want to be an example. We like sharing our story. We want the youth of today, whoever that is, I guess it's not us anymore. That's what I've been told, it's not us. But we want the new farmers to look at this and go, you know what, tell their parents, I want to be a farmer. And when their parents are like, well, why don't you get a real job, they can say, this is a real job, and I can make money, and I don't have to be a poor farmer. I can be just a farmer and a business person and a farm entrepreneur. So that's been our goal, to be that for ourselves, and perhaps perhaps share it with other people, because we didn't have anyone to share it with us when we were trying to do that. So that's our goal. Now maybe we're switching out a little bit, and that's fun too. We'll figure out different metrics and measure it differently. But so that's where we're coming from.